Your pain is the seed of your strength. Every hardship you've endured, every betrayal you've survived, every moment you felt like you couldn't breathe because the weight on your chest was too heavy, those moments weren't there to destroy you. They were there to plant something deep inside you, something you couldn't see at the time. Seeds don't grow on the mountaintop. They grow in the dark, beneath the surface, in the dirt where no one can see them. That's where your pain took root. You may have thought nothing was happening, but in the silence, in the struggle, in the tears, something was building inside you. Pain has a way of shaping a person in ways comfort never could. Comfort makes you soft, but pain makes you sharp. Comfort lets you coast, but pain forces you to grow. You've been tested in the fire, and every time you thought you wouldn't make it, you came out stronger. You didn't even realize you were being forged into something unbreakable. Every time you were pushed down, you were building the muscle to get back up. Every time someone walked away, you were learning to stand on your own. Every loss, every disappointment, every heartbreak, it all became part of your training. When life plants pain in your heart, it's like planting a seed in the soil. At first, it's covered in darkness. It's buried, forgotten by the world above, but beneath the surface, roots are forming. Those roots are your resilience. They dig deep into the ground, anchoring you so when the storms come, and they will, you won't be swept away. People may look at you and think you're fragile because of what you've been through, but they don't see the roots. They don't see how deep they go. Your pain has given you something that can't be taught in books, can't be handed down like an inheritance. It's given you grit. It's given you the kind of strength that doesn't break when the wind blows. It bends, it adapts, it survives. And the beauty of it is, this strength isn't loud. It doesn't have to announce itself. It's in the way you keep showing up, even when everything in you wanted to quit. It's in the way you smile, not because life is easy, but because you refuse to let it crush you. The people who doubted you, the ones who hurt you, they didn't realize they were part of the process. They didn't realize that every tear, every moment of suffering was adding weight to the seed, pressing it deeper, making it grow stronger. You are not just a survivor of pain. You are the product of it. And when that seed finally pushes through the soil, when your strength becomes visible to the world, they will understand that nothing they did to bury you could stop what you were becoming. Tears today, triumph tomorrow. The tears you shed are not signs of defeat. They are the evidence that you cared, that you fought, that you poured your heart into something even when it hurt. They are proof you were present in the battle, not hiding from it. Each tear is a release, a small drop of pain leaving your body so it can make room for something greater. You may not see it now, but those moments when you broke down were not the end. They were the preparation for a victory that hasn't arrived yet but is already on its way. Tears are often misunderstood. People think they mean weakness, but in truth, they mean strength. It takes courage to feel deeply, to love fully, to dream boldly. And when those dreams are shattered or delayed, your tears are the reminder that you still have a heart that's alive. They show that you're still human, still willing to hope, even when hope hurts. They mean you haven't gone cold, and people who haven't gone cold are the ones who rise again. When you cry, you're not falling apart. You're releasing the weight you've been carrying. You're making space for new strength to grow. You may feel drained after, but that's only because you've emptied yourself of what was holding you back. And in that emptiness, something powerful begins to form. Just like the rain that falls before flowers bloom, your tears are watering the ground of your future. Every drop is soaking into the soil of your destiny, preparing it for a harvest you can't yet imagine. The battles you're fighting now will one day become the stories you tell. The nights you spent crying will turn into the fuel that propels you forward when the world tries to hold you back. People will see the triumph, the victory, the glow of your success, but they won't know about the tears that made it possible. They'll see the crown, but never understand the cost, and that's okay, because the victory will speak for itself. Tears are temporary, but the strength they produce is lasting. They soften the ground of your heart so that growth can happen. They wash away the dust from the fight so you can see clearly where you're going next. Every tear is part of a process that turns pain into power, heartbreak into resilience, and loss into wisdom. You may not understand the timing, but there is a rhythm to this journey. The low points make the high points even higher. The dark nights make the morning light even brighter, and the tears of today are the invisible down payment on the joy that's waiting for you tomorrow. The flood always starts with a drop. One moment, one decision, one step can change everything. What looks small to the world can carry the weight of an entire future. That first drop might seem insignificant. One tear, one prayer, one act of courage when no one's watching. But it's the spark that sets everything in motion. You don't see the flood at first. You just feel the drop. It's easy to overlook, easy to dismiss, but it carries the power to multiply, to grow, to gather force until it can no longer be stopped. In life, the biggest transformations often start quietly. There's no thunder, no applause, no announcement. Just a single moment that begins to tip the balance. That drop might be the first time you choose to stand up for yourself. It might be the first time you say no, when you've always said yes. It might be the first day you wake up and decide to keep going even though you feel like quitting. Those drops collect. They join with others. They start to run together until what was once invisible becomes undeniable. A flood doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of many drops working together over time. Every time you push through fear, every time you choose faith over doubt, every time you rise after falling, you're adding another drop. You may not realize it in the moment, but you're building momentum. That momentum grows, and eventually, it becomes a force that changes the entire landscape of your life. People will often underestimate the power of small beginnings. They'll look at a drop and see nothing, but they don't understand the chain reaction it can start. One act of kindness can restore hope to someone who is ready to give up. One brave choice can open a door you didn't even know existed. One small victory can lead to another and another until the flow is unstoppable. When you've been hurt, betrayed, or underestimated, that first drop might come from your tears, but over time, those tears turn into determination. Determination becomes action. Action builds strength, and strength, when combined with time and persistence, becomes a flood that sweeps away everything that was meant to hold you back. The same people who once ignored you, doubted you, or laughed at you will find themselves facing the unstoppable force you've become. The drop is the beginning, but it holds the essence of the end result. It carries within it the potential for transformation, for victory, for change so massive it can't be reversed. Every drop matters, every moment matters, every choice matters, because what starts small today can become the very thing that reshapes your entire tomorrow. What they built to break you will break them. Every scheme, every lie, every trap set in your path was designed to take you down. They planned it, they spoke it, they put effort into it, believing they could control your destiny. But what they didn't understand is that life has a way of turning weapons around. The very things they created to destroy you can end up being the very things that destroy them. When people operate from hate, envy, and malice, they set in motion forces they can't control. They think they're in charge of the game, but they don't see the bigger board. Every move they make out of spite plants a seed of destruction in their own soil. When they pushed you down, they believed you'd stay there, but the fall became your foundation. When they closed doors in your face, they thought they'd trapped you, but those closed doors forced you to find new ones that led to places they could never reach. The energy they used to harm you doesn't disappear, it circles back. It's the nature of the world, the rhythm of justice. The same stone they rolled in your direction can roll back toward them. Every plan they made in the dark starts to collapse under the weight of its own deceit. They may celebrate for a season, thinking they've succeeded, but over time, the cracks begin to show. The very lies they told become the truth they can't escape. Your survival is proof that their efforts failed. Every step you took forward, every obstacle you overcame, weakened the grip they thought they had on your life. Their strength was built on the hope of your failure, and when you didn't fail, it started to crumble. What they built was never as strong as they believed, because it was built on the wrong foundation. Hatred is unstable. Jealousy is fragile. Lies eventually collapse under the weight of truth. Sometimes the greatest revenge is not in what you do to them, but in what their own actions do to themselves. When someone builds a structure of deceit, they must live inside it. When they create storms for others, they eventually find themselves standing in the rain. When they dig pits for someone else, it's only a matter of time before they fall into them. The same trap set for your feet becomes the hole they can't climb out of. They thought they were writing the ending to your story, but in reality, they were writing the ending to theirs. They thought they were breaking you, but all they were doing was building the weapon of their own downfall. Every brick they stacked in the wall meant to block you was just another piece of the prison they would have to live in. Every step they took to harm you was a step toward their own undoing.